I'm very happy to deliver my presentation, especially in person. In this conference, I think it took about 3 years to be here again in person. Today, I'd like to present something on how we can go to the maritime digitalization and the maritime transformation, maritime digitalization and the maritime digital transform era. As Professor Park told us, we are living in the era of digital transformation or era of fourth industrial revolution. We need to know exactly where we are in terms of digital transformation. Yesterday's presentation, Jillian told that there is a difference between the digitization and digitalization. Yes, there is a big difference between them, and also there is also a big difference between the digitalization and digital transformation. I'd like to start my presentation with how that is different. Digitalization, we need to start digitalization as the first step of the digital transformation. Digitalization is converting information, analog information into digital ones, like the zero and ones. Navtex and electronic chart, this is a very good example for digitization in the maritime world. Digitalization is, it describes how IT or digital technologies can be used for altering existing business processes. The altering business process is a very important part for digitalization. As you can see from the definition of the e-navigation is the IMO's strategy to digitalize maritime navigation because it tried to alter navigation process by using the IT technologies, while keeping the overall navigation process as it has been so far. So there is no changes in the overall navigation processes, but changes in the detailed process of navigation aided by or supported by the IT systems. That is the digitalization. Digital transformation, that is the most pervasive phase, and it describes company-wide or global-wide change that leads to development of new business models by implementing a new business logic to create and capture value. So at the digital transformation phase, we can find that there is a new business model and that there is new value that needs to be captured by that business model. And that is the digital transformation. Considering all these definitions, I like to say that we are at the middle of digitalization, not finished yet, not matured yet, and also we are heading for digital transformation. That is my understandings on where we are. I told that we are at the middle of digitalization. That means we have something on our hands. We have S100, the framework of CMDS, to share information between the maritime entities. And we have maritime services, digital services, that alters detailed navigation business by using the IT technologies while keeping the navigation process as a whole is kept as it has been so far. And we have a maritime connectivity platform that has been told so many times in this conference. The digital transformation occurs in a digital world, but that digital world should be connected to real world at the end. And also, the physical entities that is connected to that digital world should be also connected to each other. So MCP, that is all about connectivity. We have the MCP on our hands. In some cases, we found that although all the sectors are matured enough for the digital transformation, we can say that in some cases we can find some very matured cases of digitalization, like smart navigation and SCM services, as you heard yesterday. Now we are heading to capturing a new value, greenhouse gas reduction, or the greener globe, greener Earth. That is our new value, I can say that. In altering business process-wise, we cannot exclude autonomous shipping. We cannot exclude greener shipping either. Both of business process changes are very essential for our world and for our business as well. To implement or to make real the digital transformation in maritime sector, I'd like to propose a new initiative. That is not new, that is old in some aspect, because I have proposed last conference, in the last conference as well, as a Global Maritime Digital Transition Initiative. I just call it GMDRT. It can be regarded as a new or another testbed. Yes, it's a testbed. It can be regarded as a testbed for transition. Testbeds so far have been local or just regional. But the testbeds that will be embraced, that will be implemented during the GMDRT, will embrace all the testbeds in the world, or multiple testbeds in the world, to connect region and region, or country and countries. Testbed so far has been node-centric. That means the testbed is dedicated for some country or dedicated for some region. The country or region could have its own portfolio for its maritime services. So we could see that smart navigation also has its own maritime service portfolios, 6 portfolios. And STM services also has its own maritime service portfolios. But we can see all the maritime service portfolios are separated from each other, like this. But what happens between those? As Michael told, navigation is in nature international and global. Navigation is not just in node that covers between nodes as well. I call it edge or root. So far, testbed has been node-centric. So digitalization by using that testbed was also node-centric. By using the GMDRT testbed and aiming for the transition with the name of GMDRT, I believe we can fill the gap between the nodes. By filling the gap, we can build up the root-centric testbed that can lead to root-centric digitalization at the end, global digitalization in maritime sectors. By having that on our hand, we can have some calculators, because it requires some costs. To have some benefit, it requires some cost. There are several or many stakeholders, so especially service providers like government and the service consumers, shipping companies, and the shipyards as well. So all those stakeholders have its own formula for calculating benefits and costs. I have listed some benefit and cost from each of stakeholders' view. From service consumers' perspective, the shipping company, obviously they need to install some additional equipment. This is a fact. We cannot say that there is no need for installing additional equipment. I believe there should be some additional equipment. But the key is that how much benefit they could get from their additional installation of new equipment. From service providers' perspective, this is the government perspective, I believe. And, they can expect less carbon dioxide emission for the world, and the safe navigation environment they can provide. And nowadays, stability in supply chain is also very important after COVID. So all these facts could be a benefit from the digitalization and digital transformation. But they need to install additional infrastructure, like Republic Korea did, installing communication infras that is required. From the seafarers' perspective, they could be benefited from the safer navigation environment. That is very obvious, I think. But interesting, I could see that there could be benefit from less workload and cost from additional workload. I think this is the different type of workload, I think. As I told you, all these formulas could be its own perspective. That means the formulas of seafarers and the formulas of shipping companies could be different. Sometimes it could be aligned, sometimes it could be in conflict. We need to have some harmonized formula for calculating benefit and cost for digitalization and digital transformation. By having that formula on our hand, we can precisely estimate the benefit and cost of the digitalization and digital transformation, and we can realize it practically and in time. And even we can make it evolved agilely and continuously in the future. Thank you very much. 감사합니다.